Today on the channel, Thundertank, ho!
Spirit of Olympian Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Super 7 Ultimates unboxing and review. And today we got something entirely different, as we've got the long-awaited, the much-anticipated Super 7 Thundercats Thundertank. But for all your Thundertank needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $59 does ship free. And last I checked, this was over there, so you could save 10%. That's a huge chunk of change off this bad boy, whereas this was well over $400, as you guys know. Very, very expensive. A figure, or I guess I should say a vehicle, that is definitely not for everybody. And a lot of people say, I don't even have room for this. I'm not sure if I have room for this, but we'll figure it out. We always do. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other ones on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to see where it goes from there. Of course, the Thundertank, one of the big heavy hitter vehicles of the 80s. One I did not own as a kid. We've talked about that in my Thundercats reviews. So this is my first go around the sun owning a Thundertank, and I think I did all right with this big, big bad boy. He is huge. He is heavy. This is a massive, massive vehicle, and very cool because obviously the Super 7 figures, 7-inch scaled figures. That's got to be a big vehicle to fit these guys, and this one does hold 6 Thundercats figures, if you can believe that. Absolutely crazy. This did take a long time to get to us. We all know Super 7. They always say it's about a year pre-order. It's really about 14 to 18 months, sometimes over 2 years on certain things, and this definitely took a lot longer than the year. But it is finally here, and unfortunately, I did order mine. Fortunately or unfortunately, I ordered mine from Super 7. As I did the math, you guys know we always got to get a deal. I did the math, and based on everything, Super 7 was the cheapest to go through. Even though they take your money up front, the savings were worth it, and that's what I did. So I went to Super 7 instead of the big bad toy stores, the Entertainment Earths of the world. Well, everybody besides Super 7 shipped theirs out, and Super 7 was the last to ship their own product. Apparently, they are going to fix that in the future, so if you order from Super 7, you will get things first. We'll see how that goes in the future. But I had to wait a little bit longer for this than those that ordered from other retailers out there. So that was one caveat with this. And of course, the price point turned a lot of people away on this as well, because guess what? It's expensive. This is like a car payment for one of these. And a lot of people saying, I need a third garage stall or a fourth garage stall to store something like this, as it is a big boy. And this is one of those ones where you got to keep the package with it. You can't throw this packaging away, but where are you going to store this packaging? I'm going to try to put it back in the shipper box, probably put it in my garage or something like that. I don't know, because I don't got room to display this box, that is for sure. But let's take a look at the packaging here. Let's walk through all that, then we'll take it offline. I'll get it out of the package, and we'll try to go through this big old Thundertank here. But look at the packaging here as I scoot over to the side a little bit. Big old Thundertank just plowing down the road, looking cool. Love the background, the colors. The artwork is absolutely fabulous here. Thundercats artwork always hits me in that nostalgia field, much like Masters Universe and He-Man does as well. Got the Thundertank right there, Thundercats logo looking good. You got Mum-Ra and Slythe and the crew all coming out here. The mutants coming to take on the Thundertank, and you got Lion-O and Panthro leading the charge in the controls here. Lion-O pulling out the sword. You got Cheetara, Pumaira, Tigra down there, looking really nice. Look, the laser cannons going, blasting. Just very, very cool. We turned the packaging around right here, and there it is. Very cool. You got a big size difference there. It's comparing the figures to the actual Thundertank. I love that. Glow-in-the-dark eyes on this bad boy as well. That's a nice little easy feature to add to it. And then it comes with a Samo flange. Easy for me to say. Samo flange. I don't remember them talking about that a whole lot. Was that a throw-in? Was that a... I don't know, but we do get it here with that. Of course, Panthro. I always kind of felt Panthro, it was his vehicle. I think that's a fair assessment, I would say. On the other side of the front, we do get the same artwork here, but we get some details down here in the bottom corner. Featuring swiveling turret, working tank treads, opening cargo bay doors, 2 different windshields, Thundrillium storage, seating for 6 Thundercats, front-mounted laser cannon, giant claws with hidden weapons, scaled to fit 7-inch Super 7 Ultimate figure. So I guess you could put Masters Universe figures in here if you wanted to, and other 7-inch figures if you really needed to do that. Then on this side of the package, what do we got? Is it the same on both sides? Yes, it is. And then we got anything on the top? Oh my gosh. There we go. Look at that there. Another view of the Thundertank looking really good. Cargo hold seats, 4 figures. Authentic tank controls. Pop-up laser blaster. A lot of cool stuff. It says Lion-O's powerful transforming battle tank. So awesome, awesome, beautiful packaging as to be expected with Super 7. They always go first class on this. We think back to Snake Mountain as well. Just a very, very good looking packaging on this. But now I'm going to take this out of the package and we're going to be back talking all things Thundertank. All right, we got the Thundertank out of the package, and you can see how big this is. Had to adjust my camera a little bit here, and a big, big, beefy vehicle, as you can see. Basically almost half the width, a little bit more than half the width of my table, so very, very large, very, very in charge is the Thundertank here. But let's look at these accessories it comes with first. The slammer flange. It looks like a big old wrench here, but I guess it's cool. I guess just don't lose this. This is going to be an important piece of the puzzle in the future for resale value and things. I can see somebody putting this with Panthro somewhere else and then losing it. This would be a very expensive piece down the line. And then you get the Thundrillium. You just have that kind of in there. Nothing removable, nothing like that. Just a big chunk of plastic. But you do have that as another little throw-in. So that's always cool to get kind of stuff like that. Little things adding to the whole presentation. And then they talked about 2 hood covers here. You got the totally covered up tank. Everything's blocked here, but then you do get the clear version here, which is very nice. And I will probably display this with the clear version. Be careful, don't break the plastic, all that on the windshield there. Looking really, really nice, and we'll replace these here in a second. Then, of course, on this thing, you got the big Thundercats logo at the top. Looking really, really nice. Love the Thundercats logo. The Thundercats logo, you pull right there in the middle of that, and you open up the top, and then you're back into the back here, and that's where all the magic happens. That's where everybody's riding in style in the way back. You got the 4 seats here. The seats don't really swivel. They don't really do anything. They're just plastic seats. You got 2 in the back against the wall. You got 2 up front, which then brings you up to the big turret cannon. The cannon is really, really big. You can pull up on that. It does go out, and then it does spin on a swivel, so you can move all things around. Would have loved to have seen some missiles or some firing action out of there. Obviously, that would have added to the cost of the piece, but it looks really, really nice. You got 2 controls that have a movement to them that you can move around. The handles, you got some nice fancy colorful buttons. You got a screen there. Would have liked to seen a little picture on the screen. I think that would have looked good if it had like Mumra or whatever, or the mutants there. I thought that would have looked really cool, but I love how it does come up and down. You do got 2 peg holes on the turret, so you can stand somebody on there. I struggled a little bit finding people that would fit on there. The peg holes would not work quite so well, but we do have that. And then you got the walls here. We got nice kind of grayish blue walls across. You got a screen going on. You got all kinds of buttons everywhere. A Thundercats logo. Just looks very scientific, very futuristic, like a space shuttle or something is what it kind of feels like. But big area in here to play and put figures. You can seat 4 figures here. You could easily stand another 4 to 5 figures back here. So you could probably put 10 figures in the back if you really, really needed to, depending on size, of course. But the top does fold in for protection, all that kind of stuff. Then you get to more of the front here. You got the piece in the middle. It does pull right up, and you got a blaster cannon right there in the top in red, and it looks really, really good. One thing I do note throughout this whole thing, you got the black treads, but you got that kind of grayish, bluish color, and then the red for the Thundercats logo. That's basically all the color in this thing. So it's not a bright, colorful vehicle at all, but I don't know of many tanks that really are that way. But it looks good. You can't put that back down very, very easily, of course. Talked about the hood cover, so this just pops right off. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. They plug right in, comes off and on very, very easily. So you can take this one off. Looking really nice there, but I really, really do like the second one, the clear one. I think that just looks a little cleaner. Of course, you can see the 2 characters driving, and then you got 2 seats in the front here. And once again, you get all those scientific controls, everything looking really good, all kinds of stuff. 2 big seats here, almost seats like a Hummer, like the old school H1 Hummers. Got the big center console in the middle, but it does look really, really nice once again. Fairly and very easily seats Panthro and Lion-O in there. No issues getting them in the package or in the seats here. Looking very good. And then, of course, like I said, you put this on and it just looks really, really nice, I think, with the clear. I think the clear makes it look a lot better. Obviously, you got to be careful. You don't want fingerprints all over this. Then it would kind of not be as classy. Not be as classy. You just don't want to get your fingerprints all over this bad boy, that's for sure. But moving on here, then you get down to the big paws in the front. One of the iconic things I always felt with the old school vehicle. Oh, but very heavy too. As you can see, this thing is not very light. But one very cool thing is the front mouth. It does open up You can move that. Very good. Very cool there. Of course, you can scoop guys up and eat them, and then it's supposed to be teeth in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teeth. Oh, boy, get him to the dentist, but you got that up there. And then you got the paws that do move up and down. Very, very cool. And then the treads come down as well. And you got the blaster cannons inside. These two will go up, or they can't be separated, but it's got the big claw marks here. You got the big claws. You can just come down and clamp down on Mum-Ra if you need to. So a lot of good movements here, and it doesn't feel loose. It feels nice and tight. Very good articulation on the vehicle, which seems weird to talk about articulation on a vehicle, but here we are. But it does look very, very nice. Feels very nice. Feels very sturdy, that is for sure. Now, this does roll, of course, but then you got the big old tank treads there. And I'm a little interested that they did make the tank treads work. I guess that's an extra attention to detail, an extra step there. But they actually do move. I guess, you know, they could have saved some money. Probably just had that as a big plastic chunk piece. I don't know if I would have been offended. I guess you guys sound off in the comments. Did you want your tank treads to move? It's not a game changer to me. And if it would have knocked $50 off the price point, I probably would have been okay with it. But it is a lot more attention to detail. And I guess, as they always do say, if you're going to do something, do it right or don't do it at all. They went all out on this bad boy here, and so they did that. So I guess just pick your own poison from that end there. Trying to pick this guy up, the underbelly of this thing. Not a whole lot of action there. You do got a spinning wheel underneath, as you can see right here. It's the spin, and you got 2 wheels up top. So that helps move it along there, because the treads don't really move as good as you would like them to, but they definitely do, as you can see in here right there. But man, a big, big chunk of plastic. Definitely cool. There's no doubt about this. I think anybody would see this and say, this is cool. I think the biggest gripes people have, obviously, price points. Everybody gripes about price points. But it's the size of this bad boy. How big this guy is. I mean, you get Lion-O right here. I mean, just look at that difference in height. I mean, that's a 7-inch big Lion-O figure. He is dwarfed by this thing. But it is to scale like it should be. That's what we want in this day and age, in this adult collector's market. Wouldn't recommend this for a kid, that is for sure. But it is definitely big. And a lot of people are saying, where the heck am I going to put this? And I'm asking myself that too. I think it's going to be in front of my Billy bookcase on the floor is probably where I'm going to put this. Nobody has a shelf for this. Problem is, you don't got a wide enough shelf. It isn't long enough shelf. I mean, maybe wide enough, but not long enough. So I don't know how you do this unless you got a table, which leads us to say, will they actually do a Thundercats lair one day? How cool would that be? Heck, they've done Snake Mountain in the past. Would a Thundercats lair be out of control? Would it be something that's totally off the table? I don't think so. I think if there's enough demand for it, we could see that. And it might be one of those things where you start to build a landscape. You get some nice stuff. You put this, you put the Thundercats lair, and you're building out a whole universal world, much like the He-Man Masters Universe Origins with the Eternia set coming. Of course, we got Grayskull, we got Snake Mountain. We're going to be able to build out a landscape. Maybe we'll eventually get to that with the Thundercats. We'll see what happens there. But the end of the day, it was a long, long wait, but it is a very, very cool thing, and this will be an interesting one. At the end of the year, I'm thinking about doing my top 5 vehicles of the year, because we're going to have some party wagons, of course. We'll have this. We'll have a Hiss tank coming. We'll see what the top 5 vehicles are for 2023, but this one will definitely be on the list. There's no way around it. I love Thundercats. If you're watching this, you probably love Thundercats. It's just a very, very cool piece. But like I said, you guys let me know in the comments down below. You picking this up? Did you already get this? There's still some retailers selling this one. There's some deals to be had out there if you're lucky. But it's one of those things that it will only go up in value. A couple years from now, there's going to be a lot of new people collecting things like that. These things always do increase in value, and I think the Thundertank, being the #1 vehicle in the Thundercats lore, I do think there's going to be some value to this down the line, of course. And it's just a cool piece. It's a heck of a conversation piece. We'll definitely say that. But you guys in the comments, let me know your thoughts on this. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, including all the Super 7 Thundercats when we do get those. Don't forget about the Patreon as well, where you get early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, Q&As, giveaways, you name it. A lot going on in the old Patreon channel. And then, of course, don't forget to follow along over at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for the Thundertank, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon. Oh boy, exciting times at the old doorstep here. Oh baby, look at that. I think the Thundertank is finally here. And so is the snow. Get out of here with that snow.